Hey guys, how's it going? It's Jewel Tolentino here. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be sharing a story with you guys when we were first starting out as entrepreneurs and we actually used the airport as a place to work and our office. Alright, so a little bit of story time for you guys. So back when we were first starting our Essetino business, and at the time it was not called Essetino Artists as you see right now, it was called Essetino Connections. Anyways, so this was around 2011, and at the time we had like little netbooks, which were kind of like laptops, but really mini versions, like the screen would be really tiny. And we got them because, we wanted them to be portable, but we soon found out when we got into video editing and into Photoshop that this tiny computer at the time in 2011 wouldn't be able to handle that kind of software. So when we first started our business, we didn't really have places to work, and it wasn't widely accepted to go to a coffee shop and then, work there for hours. Now, especially in Vancouver here and, in the States and stuff like that, main cities, it's so normal to just bring your laptop to a coffee shop, buy one drink, get free internet, and sit there for 5, 6, 7, even 8 hours. It's totally normal now, but this was not normal back then. So what was more normal back then was like people studying with books or writing or reading a book, newspapers, like bringing your laptop everywhere wasn't a thing yet. Also back then, internet was interesting. So it's not the way it is now. Before, like some places, like in this specific coffee shop Blends, you actually had to buy a drink and then you would get an internet code and then that would last for a certain amount of time. Now, coffee shops everywhere, it's just standard and it's known, especially here in Canada and the US, that you get internet when you go to a coffee shop. So in the beginning, we had to like buy a drink and then the code would either last for like maybe an hour or 90 minutes and we would stay at these coffee shops for at least 5 hours. It was not a problem for us to sit there on our laptop and work on the computer for that long. And so every couple of hours we would go and buy another, coffee or tea or something and then get another code. So like I said, we had like a select few coffee shops that we would kind of rotate and go around into. Like they were like Starbucks, Blends, Waves Coffee House. But there was a particular incident that kind of pushed us to go to the airport. One time we were at this coffee shop. I think it was a Waves Coffee House. And we were working as usual and I didn't feel like a drink, but Arit did, so we would come in together and share a table, and then she got her drink, and then we got the internet and we were working, and mind you, we were there for a while. We were there for at least 5 hours. And there were other people around, studying with their textbooks, people from university, high school, that type of thing. We were just minding our own business, doing our thing. And then Arit went up to go get another drink. The cashier people, which were these young high school type students, these young high school girls. I'm not sure what was up or what was going on, but pretty much they told Arit that, because I didn't buy a drink, that, technically I shouldn't be there because I didn't buy a drink and you're supposed to buy a drink. But then we came in together and only she bought the drink twice. And so Arit was trying to explain, like, oh, we're working together, I bought 2 drinks, and it just kind of got awkward from there. And, that kind of uncomfortable interaction made it not as pleasing to go there again because these kids worked there all the time in the evening, and that was one of our rotation of coffee shops to go to. So we were kind of like discussing and we're like, we don't really want to go there. Those people are going to give us a hard time again. They were giving us dirty looks, just staring, and literally all we're doing is working on the laptop, and one person was buying 2 drinks. So I started thinking out loud and I was saying to Arit, like, okay, where is a place that we can work that has unlimited internet, unlimited food, and people aren't going to care how long we stay or that we're on our laptops or if we buy a drink or if we don't buy a drink? Like, where is that place? So we were thinking, and then finally It came to me. The airport. So the Vancouver International Airport is open 24 hours. The food there are some places like Burger King and fast food places that are open 24 hours. Now, mind you, it wasn't it's junk food, but it was still open 24 hours. They also have unlimited seating because one of the issues was in the coffee shop, they're not that big. There were so many people in there. Sometimes it would be hard to find seats, especially like next to a plug. Now, laptops these days can last much longer, and coffee shops these days actually make it so that people have plugs to go into because it's more accepted now to work in coffee shops with your laptop. So it had everything. It was open 24 hours, unlimited internet, food was open 24 hours, and there was unlimited seating, and no one was gonna bother us because people are always hanging out at the airport, with flights, and just people don't care about that kind of thing if you're there a lot. So that was the answer, was the airport. The only downside was you can't park at the airport because it's extremely expensive. Like a couple of hours would probably lead to like $20 or $40 or something. So parking there wasn't an option. So we had to take the SkyTrain. So here's what we did was there's a SkyTrain station that had a casino connected to it. And obviously the casino is open 24 hours. So we would park the car at the casino, pretend like you go into the casino, go onto the SkyTrain, take the SkyTrain to the airport, and then work in the food court area. Now there were these seats where you climbed up. It's kind of like the second level food court area in the main terminal area. And when we first tried it out, it was great. First of all, no one really sat on the second level because not many people really knew about it. We had unlimited clean washrooms because they're always cleaning the airport. The food was available. Mind you, it was Burger King, and we did have our fair share of Whoppers. Unlimited internet, and it never closed. It was great. We would stay there for the entire day. But sometimes it was a little bit difficult to leave and get back to the car later. So back then when we would work, we were night owls. I still am a night owl, but back then we would pull all-nighters a lot, and it was much easier for us to do it back then. So there was a couple of times where we would work past midnight at the airport and we would be there from earlier in the day. The thing is, the SkyTrain closes at a certain time, and there would be times where we would be working on projects and we would lose track of time, and then all of a sudden the SkyTrain's closed. If the SkyTrain is closed, then you have a couple of options. You can take a taxi, but then, what was the point of taking the whole SkyTrain, right? Taxi back to the car at the casino is going to cost probably 20 something. Or option 2 was to wait until the SkyTrain opened again, which it opened around like 5 a.m. So if we were so busy and we missed the time when the SkyTrain closed, we actually would stay there and wait until 5 a.m. when the SkyTrain would open back up again, and then we could take it and head back to the car. We would pretty much pull all-nighters sometimes. And you know what? It was fine because we were so excited and passionate about our business and about what we were doing. We were so green, so new, that we didn't mind that we had to do something like that. It was almost exciting and adventurous. And if you have like a constraint or a problem in your life, think about what's around you and what you can do to make it work. There's always a way to make something work. So for us, working in the coffee shops, it wasn't widely accepted for people with their laptops to go in there and use the internet. You had to pay for the internet pretty much because you had to keep buying drinks. It was hard to find seats because it was always so packed, especially during exam time. There were so many people studying and it was very hard to find a seat, let alone find a seat next to a plug. And then you didn't have to deal with people or people who worked there that, had a problem with you being there for so long. Now it's totally normal. People don't care. You can be in the coffee shop for like 8 hours and buy one drink and they're totally cool with it. It's the norm now. So that's the story of how the Vancouver International Airport was our office for a certain point in our lives. I haven't used the airport as our office, and it would actually probably be fun and nostalgic to try it out one of these days, just to get a feel for the good old days. So if you guys really want something that badly, you can make it work. You can find a solution. There's always a workaround. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this story time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Back from the dead.